Hey everyone, welcome to another video. We're here in beautiful and a little windy Lucky Bay, Kalbarri, up in Western Australia. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to give us a bit of a rundown on our whole setup here. So, to begin with, she's a beautiful and glowing 2010 model ZD30 GU Patrol Common Rail. Had it since about just before COVID started in 2020, I think I bought it. Had it ever since, done a fair bit of trips in it, and yeah, let's run through what she's got. So we've got over here ARB steel bull bar up the front there with some king spotties and some foggies, into scrub bars and ARB side steps. We've got a GME UHF and radio antenna and a worn, what is that? I think it's a 9,000 pound winch. Could be wrong on that, but it does the job. Used it a couple of times and it is fantastic. And just a quick peek under the bonnet of the GU. I've got a nice Century cranking battery under there with a little 12 volt Ultimate 9, I think it is. Wireless battery monitor. You can just look on an app on your phone if anything's wrong with your battery or your status of it. I've got a welded, just an eBay intercooler. This is just a direct replacement for the factory one. Mine was leaking like a sieve, and it actually is performing a lot better than the factory one did. It's got yeah, lower EGTs, and I think it cools a lot faster, like after a hard effort up a hill or something as well, which is great. Also got a Tilix kit installed, which is the boost controller there, and the vacuum knob there. That's set to run about 17 PSI. I've wound it back a little bit on this trip, as if I'm heavy, it tends to just throw us into limp mode a little bit occasionally. So yeah, just wound it back just a touch to prevent that happening as we are fully loaded. Diff breathers, transmission breathers, gearbox, front diff breathers, and a red arc isolator up there on the firewall. And I have removed my second battery from the engine bay here because I cooked a few of them being that close to the turbo. Yeah, so that's an empty space there at the moment. Haven't really thought about what to do with it. And that second battery's moved to the back next to the fridge, down the side. HPD catch can. What else have we got? I think that's about it in terms of under the bonnet. Underneath we've got 2-inch Old Man Emu lift, and some 33-inch Maxxis muddies that went on just before this trip on some dynamic steelies. As you can see, we've also got an ARB alloy roof rack up there with our 23.0 Sabre rooftop tent sitting up the top there with some solar and max tracks on it. So if you come around this way, we'll do a bit of a run through. So we've got just some cheapy towing mirrors on here. The standard mirrors on these things are pretty shit. You can't see too much around the side of you. And after a couple of close calls on the freeway, I chucked these on. They're great. Got two separate mirrors, can see really wide, and they do extend if you're towing anything, which is fantastic. And if we just jump inside the car as well, give you a little rundown of the cockpit that we're running with. So we've got a CarPlay and Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sony head unit that runs through the basic double-din setup. I've got pretty decent speakers in the doors and a sub underneath the passenger seat that can be adjusted to whatever music taste you like, which is great. I love my Beats, and yeah, this thing is great. Not very expensive, pretty basic one at that, but it does the job. I then run a set of gauges up here. I've got EGTs and boost. My MagSafe wireless charging, whatever it's called, quad lock up here. I've also got an ultra gauge. This is a pretty recent addition after some EGR valve issues that were throwing engine codes. This is a fantastic little piece of equipment that just plugs into the OBD2 port under the under the steering wheel there. And you can clear codes, you can read codes, you can set up custom gauges. There's like 8 different little sections on the screen there. And so that is fantastic. Heads-up display, just a cheapy one. I think it's from King's from probably 5 years ago. With bigger tyres on the Patrol, it throws the speedo out a little bit, so you can sort of adjust that to however you want. I do have towing brakes, never used them, don't really tow much. Got my UHF there, handset, just a basic one there too. And some rock lights and a reversing light bar on the roof rack. Also, excuse the mess, but I've also got a Mullet Mods, I think it is, a 3D printed cup holder add-on little storage section here, which is fantastic because the GU just comes out with 2 pissy little cup holders that you can't even fit like a bottle of water in. So these are fantastic. You can fit decent bottles, cans, whatever in there. Keep a couple of pens or whatever, little things up there, and then a big pocket at the back here for whatever you need. Got a shovel, shower tent, and an MCC rear bar on the back with a wheel carrier and jerry cans on the other side. In here we've got our crush pad, I think it's a Stealth wheel bag, and we've got just our rubbish, a fire pit, sand pegs, all sorts of stuff in there. It's fantastic. I've had this for about 5 years. It's never left the car. It has held up in the sun, sand, snow, everything we put it through, and it is still fantastic. Highly recommend. If we come around this way, you'll see our 270 degree, I think it's a Falcon Extreme by 230 as well. So it goes all the way 270 plus, so it goes round to the front there, all the way around to the back. It's completely freestanding, but as it is a pretty windy situation here, we've just got it pegged down in a couple of points, and it is safe as houses, no dramas whatsoever. The setup in full swing. Just had a nice hot shower over there. Coming under here, see those lights in the awning arms are absolutely unreal for light down here. Han's doing some reading. I'm about to offload some footage. Washing, drying over there. How good. If you come through here, you can see the rear fit out here. Obviously it's pretty packed as we're living out of this thing for a couple of months on the road at the moment. So yeah, standard little homemade fridge cage in here with just a 40 litre angle. Does everything we need. We've fed 12 people out of the beach at Robe out of this thing with meat and drinks and everything, and 1 or 2 other little fridges this size, and it is a beast. Uses absolutely no power, and I leave it running in here 24/7 all year round with just the solar running it. So it is fantastic. Safety wise, got a fire extinguisher, fire blanket here, King's drawers with just our cooking stuff and some food in here. Nothing too fancy, just that basic stuff, plus a cheeky little rice cooker because we do love our rice when we can. And that's also just running off the inverter, which is fantastic. I also forgot to add earlier that this section here with the big black tub in it has my fishing bag, a stand-up paddleboard rolled up here, a surf fishing rod, a smaller fishing rod, a little beach umbrella, the pump for the paddleboard, 2 snorkel sets, some spare poles when we put the awning walls out, and a chemical toilet in the bottom there for when we are off-grid a bit later on at Narraloo and Warra Station. All my spares are down the wings there. Got all my fluids, grease, a couple of spare belts, and all the usual ZD stuff in there. Some water and awning walls down the side. We've got full wall kit for this whole 270 awning, so you can close it off and have some great space out of the wind, rain, whatever you need. We haven't used it too much on this trip so far, but yeah, hopefully once we get up to a bit more sunny, beautiful weather, we'll use it out on the beach at Exmouth or Ningaloo or something like that. So yeah, a couple of homemade storage pockets on the side here, bit of bungee cord holding our towels up and storing the basics. Stove down the side, hose to fill up the water bladder, we'll check that out in a sec, but yeah, hose to fill up the water bladder, solar blanket and extension cord, 120 amp hour lithium battery set up with a 1500 watt inverter, which does everything we need it to. We're not running air fryers and coffee machines, we're running a rice cooker and charging phones and GoPros, so it is perfect. Another thing we've got here is our power board running off the inverter. So the inverter's just tucked in here on top of my battery through the back there. And I've just got it velcroed on some little velcro patches to the front, so when we want to run the rice cooker or anything out the back, you just feed it through the back there and it chucks out right next to the fridge, and you just turn it on with the switch and runs through there. Yeah, dual jerry cans here, which again, not too much to talk about these ones. Little custom gas bottle holder that I made up on the end there. Keeps our gas nice and safe and secure, locked in there. And actually when we cook on top of the drawers, the gas hose just comes all the way out here. You don't have to take it out, which is awesome. Coming around to this side, we've got our Salty Aura sand mat there. Unreal gift from the girls for Hannah's birthday. Thank you girls, we love it. Our big Wanderer moon chairs over here, which are huge and take up a shitload of space, but they are the comfiest things ever. Moving around here, we've got a great little product here, an Aussie made product actually. This is a pegless clothesline. So as you can see, you just string it up between 2 points and you just poke it through, slide it to the side, and it holds up all your stuff to dry, which is fantastic. Other things on the car, just a factory snorkel and airbox. Again, driven this thing through rivers and had no water ingress at all. Really like it. You know, it looks good on the side of the car there too. Maybe go a Stano one day, but for now, it does the job. What else we got? Yeah, around this side, we got the girly side. But yeah, anyway. Han, is there anything you... Oh, actually, quickly, water bladder. Come down here, Han, check this out. So, in here we've got our water bladder, which is who's it made by? Flexi Make, which is a Victorian, like, bladder maker out, I think, sort of Dandenong way. They make fuel bladders, water bladders, all sorts of things for sort of farm applications and, I guess, traveling, caravanning, all that sort of thing. And I'm just running it gravity fed, so it's got a breather hose and a filler hose. This is fantastic for carrying water while we're off grid like we are right now. We've got 85 litres, I'm pretty sure it is, in there, which we filled up yesterday. We carry another 20-ish on the jerry can holder there, and then I've got another sort of emergency 20, which we can shower out of a jerry can with our little shower that goes into the jerry can. But yeah, like I said, just gravity fed, so open the valve, comes out, can do everything we need, safe for drinking. We run a filter from the filling hose straight into here, straight into there, so all safe to drink and everything like that. And that, yeah, that just sits across the back footwell all the way across. So yeah, that's pretty much how we're going. If you want to see a build up of the interior setup here, I did it in another video. Cheap, effective, really working in every way we wanted it for this trip. Plenty of space, probably a little too much. We've sort of haven't worn half the stuff we've brought just yet, but we have had some cold weather, so we've dug out the woolies, but hopefully the bathers and shorts and stuff will be a bit more on the agenda in the next couple of days. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Han, is there anything you'd like to add? No, cool. Thank you to my lovely camera woman. She's doing a great job. But yeah, that's us on the road. How many days in are we, Han?
14
days in. And everything is going very smoothly. I think the only thing we've had to replace is a splash guard on the inner guard of the car that we actually lost on the highway on day one. And under here is the famous splash guard that we lost on day one on the highway. Easy fix, just a flat sheet of rubber from Mitre 10 in Streaky Bay in South Australia. 12 bucks I think it was to buy one, a square one. I just cut it out on the beach on Perluvi Beach and cut some holes, stuck some zip ties, and it's holding very nicely under there. Just stops sand and water and rocks and everything else just getting up there when we're on the beach or on some corrugations, because right behind there is the serpentine belt and fan on the engine. So if that got some rocks thrown in there or something like that, it would be not a fun time. But other than that, everything's going well. We're having a blast, enjoying ourselves, and yeah, can't wait to keep the trip going and update you in the next video. Thanks.